Sorry, guys. I had my internet's it's been kind of weird today. It's been kind of wacky. But anyways, so sneak preview of 2022. I wanted to do this for you guys. I was gonna do the next 2 week reading, but instead my spirit transferred, guided, shifted what it is I meant to talk about. So this is what's happening for 2022. You guys know that I always give you guys a preview of the year, everything like that, what's going to be happening in the next up and coming year. I told all of you guys, I started telling you guys about 2021, I think back in maybe October of last year, November, something like that. So 2022, I just finally got the download as to what's going to be happening for 2022. So 2022 is going to be mainly for those who have a really high purpose, deep purpose in this world, in this lifetime. So, um, what's going on? I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Okay, Candace. So this is what's going on in 2022. All right. Um, you guys know how I get. Healers, um, teachers, those who have this amazing, immaculate purpose, who are meant to be doing something on this planet, who have not started their journey, you guys will be starting your journey in 2022. Let me tell you what this means. Um, it's an activation. What the activation means is you will be going through what I call it's almost like it's the rites of passage. And I was debating if I was going to do this like reading or not. I didn't really want to do it. It's crazy because I just found out by doing reading the next 6 month. Oh, by the way, with the next 6 month readings, I'm only booking next 6 month readings today and tomorrow, and that's it. So even if you book in your appointments in August, I'm not taking any more appointments. I'm taking it off of my schedule after tomorrow. So tomorrow's the last day you can book a next 6 month appointment where you'll get August, September, October, November, December, your overall for 2022, and January if I get it. So if you wanted to get the next 6 months, I'm only taking the bookings for that today and tomorrow. After that, it's not going to be on my schedule any longer, and that's what you'll get if you decide to do it. So, but by doing the next 6 month readings, I started to see like a common denominator, and I was like, what's going on with 2022? Because with everybody that's been booking the next 6 month readings from last week on, I'm doing from August through January instead of from July through December. So I've been able to see their overall next year, and I'm like, and for some of you guys, I've been like, damn, I'm sorry, you guys know, and I don't mean to laugh, but it's almost like you guys, and I was like, whoa. So then I went into the energy and I channeled it, and I had access to see what was actually going on for 2022. So this is what's going on for like those of you guys who are not currently on your path and in your purpose yet, but have a higher purpose here in this lifetime that you're currently living. You're going to start your activation. What the activation is, it's like your rites of passage. It's your dark night of the soul. So it's crazy. It's so crazy. Now it's starting to make sense as to why I've been doing those transparency videos recently. Like recently, I've been opening you guys up to everything that's in my heart, the things that what led me to where I am now. And I don't know why I just felt this need to talk about it. And if you guys remember, I was like, I just feel like I have the need to do this. I have the need to talk about my experience. And for those of you guys who watch transparency videos, you saw how I spoke about that when I first, exactly 7 years ago, when I first moved here to Georgia, is when I went through the tragic experience of losing my child, my baby. She was only 3 years old when she was taken away. And that was literally my darkest time, my lowest point in my life. And not only did I go through that, I went through it by myself. Like nobody in my I didn't have like not even one person in my family even calling like, hey, can I pray with you? Nothing. I had to go through it by myself, and that's how. But it was all designed to be that way. What is a dark night of the soul? A dark night of the soul is when you go through a time where it's like the ultimate tower. It's like the ultimate tower. It's like when something in your life or a part of your life, there's something in your life that completely breaks you down. It's the ultimate crumble of the tower where you can't even pick up the pieces. You have no choice but to start fresh. You have no choice but to go up. So if you notice, even like, and I always talk about this, I use this simile or this analogy, like when people they go to prison for lifelong sentences, you notice how they always find spirituality, or somebody gets really, really sick at the face of death. They always find spirituality. It's almost like you're broken down in a way that makes you have no choice but to seek your higher self and higher power. So those of you guys who are not on your path yet, who have a very high purpose in 2022, you're going to be experiencing your initiation. I call it the initiation, but it's really considered the dark night of the soul. It's when you're at that place where you have no choice. So I experienced mine 7 years ago, but now I'm here. I just want to actually tell you guys this. Sometimes I have to explain this to you, and then please come back to this video, and I'm actually going to put this video on my website because I have a feeling I'm going to be having a lot of people that's going to be coming to me because of this reason, especially going into, it's going to start around December, but especially going into next year. I'm going to have a lot of people, and I'm like, you guys know what I do. Go watch the video. I have a video about this. Go watch the video. So I'm explaining it officially. This is the official video about 2022. This is not for people who don't have a huge purpose in this life. I'm not saying you're not important. There are a lot of people who are meant to be here to be a purpose for somebody else's life, or to help initiate a person that has a higher purpose in their life. So for example, like some of the villains are people that you've experienced in your life that have hurt you in a very deep way. They may not have a life-changing purpose where they're supposed to like to change and help other people around the world. Their purpose was mainly to be there to be a part of your lesson, a part of your experience. So I don't know if this makes sense to you. So we have some people here that are meant to kind of be like the pawns. Not pawns, that's not a good word. I don't know how to say it. It's almost like they're meant to be here to initiate your life experiences to get you to where you need to be. And there's other people here who have a master purpose here to really change lives around the world, to change whatever you do, changing lives, helping people heal, teaching, healing. You have a master purpose. You're an asset. That's the wrong way to say it, because I'm not trying. They're an asset too. I don't know how to. But you guys, they're an asset too. Those who have a position to be here as an initiator in your life have a purpose too. They're an asset too. It's not that you're not important, but there are people who literally, like, they're earth angels. They're people who came here, that came here specifically to change, help, teach others, to help them. For example, I'm a teacher of teachers. I'm a healer of healers. I always say that. People who are attracted to me typically have a very high purpose. Literally with the next 6-month readings, that's all I've been getting. Like, I've been getting teachers and healers. I've been getting teachers and healers. But like the master ones, I haven't gotten anybody. Have I gotten anybody? I haven't had any readings for the next 6 months, or even recently, period. I haven't had really anybody that doesn't have a higher purpose that's come to me recently. And the ones that don't really, that are kind of just here living, I mean, they kind of just, they're not, it's almost like once I realize they're not really ready, it's almost like I just kind of like, I give them what they want and just move on. So it's this, but I rarely get those type of people. I always get those who have a master purpose in this lifetime. So those of you who have been feeling, and I wrote it down here. So you've been feeling like right now, so right now you're feeling the energy, like you're feeling it sounds like you're in a place right now where you feel like you don't know what to do. So I wrote down what is going on because I want to make sure I got everything correctly. correct. So basically, you guys are in a place right now. How you're feeling right now? You feel a sense of confusion. You feel like you don't really know what to do. You know you have something bigger, and this is. I'm talking to those that will be affected by 2022 right now. This is what you're going through. You know there's something bigger. You know that you're supposed to be. You have this feeling and this urge to do something. You have an urgent feeling. Um, you may be a little frustrated right now. You feel like it's almost like it's more frustration than anything else because you know you have a higher purpose. You know you're supposed to be doing something. So even if you are, and for some of you are working in spirituality in some way, but you're not you're not satisfied with it. You're not like you're like, I know there's more. There's something that's more, and you may not quite be on your purpose or in your purpose. You might be on the path, but not in your purpose. So it's like you might be kind of dibbling and dabbling in spirituality, but you still feel like there's something that's deeply missing. You still feel like, oh my God, like you kind of feel like, like, who am I? What am I supposed to do? Um, you might be working toward, like, you have the thought of doing something, but you don't know what to do. So going into the end of this year, going into 2022, a lot of you will go into your initiation process again, that dark night. I have to tell you this because, and I need you guys to remember this video. I don't care, just remember this video. The dark night of the soul experience, or the initiation process, is a gamble. When I say that, I say it's a gamble because, so let me go backwards. You're prepared for it, okay? All the things you think you may have had towers, you think you may have had some, that's not a dark night of the soul. A tower is more when you go through tough lessons, and you go through tough lessons, it's a lesson and you get through it, and it's another tough lesson, you get through it. A dark night is something that greatly impacts your life, that changes your life forever. It's not just an obstacle. Towers are more like obstacle, they're lessons for you to get through. A dark night is something that impacts and changes your whole entire life, where you are forced into change, where you're forced into a new direction. Now, all of the towers, I do feel like, with the people I'm talking to right now, you've been going through so much. You've gone through so much in your life. You've gone through the A through Z and back probably several times in your life. And you're probably like, well, what's next? I mean, how much worse can it be? Like, why can't I? The reason why you were going through so many towers in your life was to prepare you for your initiation time, for your dark night. You had to go through those obstacles in your life and those towers in your life to strengthen you up, to prepare you for what's coming in this new cycle, this new year. If you didn't have the strength that you have right now, this dark night, you probably would jump off a bridge, literally, or you probably would, but like, really kill yourself. Like, seriously, you wouldn't be able to handle it. So all the things that you've been going through that seem to be obstacles have been almost like a boot camp to prepare you for this dark night that's coming. This dark night is not a punishment. It's not, and I'm telling you this because I went through it and now I'm on the other side of it, but it took me years to come out of my dark night. It took me years. The thing that happened with my daughter happened in 2014. I did not fully come out of my dark night until maybe 2017. I'm gonna tell you, that was tough. So mine started in 2014. It was October 2014, and I didn't come out of it officially, where I started to actually really let go of the bondage I had with it, because it was so hurtful and so painful. Like, it was one time where I couldn't even talk about it without bursting out crying. Nobody knew what was going on in my life. Nobody knew. I couldn't even talk about what happened. Now I can talk about it, it's not a big deal. But it took me, about 2.5, 3 years before But I was one that decided not to sink. Here's the gamble with dark nights, or I'm not gonna call it dark night. I don't like that term. With your initiation into your path. So here's the gamble. Like for example, I have I have one person who okay, no, I'll talk about I could tell you about so many dark nights. So my spiritual teachers. So one of them went through. She found out she had cancer, and the cancer was aggressive. And this is one of my teachers. I have two teachers that I talk to, or two spiritualists that I talk to. So one of them had an aggressive cancer. She found she had cancer, and the doctors just, it was almost like, well, you're just going to die. She went through a lot of pain, a lot of agony. Was planning her funeral arrangements, but during the process, she had a lot of time to go within. It was a part of her plan to for her purpose, for where she is now. And this happened when she was really, really young. She was like in her early 30s when this happened. But her cancer was really, really aggressive, where she really was like, well, I guess I'm just going to die. But she had no choice but to kind of like, well, I'm going to make peace with myself, and I'm going to be open to who I'm meant to be. And although she went through that process, it's like I don't know, that's how dark nights, that's how they work. But it went away. It went away. But through that process, when she had all that time, that she didn't have a chance to do anything. She was like kind of like laid down. She was sick. But during that time, she had a chance to really find herself, to go within herself spiritually, to connect with her intuition, to connect with her inner being. And when she began to get feel better, she opened up her shop. That's when she opened up her first shop in Ohio, and it became very, very successful. She started teaching classes. Now she does. I go to her for readings. Actually, I go to her for readings and to Kennedy for readings. My other teacher, he was almost from what he told me, he was almost getting ready to go to prison. He told me that basically his life was in jeopardy. He was almost like, it sounds like he was fighting this crazy court case. He was on his way to prison for a really, 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 really long time. He kept going to his spiritual person, asking for help, it was like the situation where it's like it changes your life. It's not just like, okay, well, I had a bad day, a car accident today, and I'm just having a bad day. No, it's something that happens in your life where it changes your life. I have another person that I used to actually. She's more of a she's a part of EFI. She's more of a priestess. With her best friend, her mother died on her wedding day. Her mom died on her wedding day. That was her best friend. This was before she even went into EFI. But it broke her down in a place where it's like she was depressed for about 4 years. It's crazy. I can feel her energy now. She was depressed for I just want to cry right now. So she was depressed for 4 years. 4 years she would not do anything. And then she had to have her wake up call. She came out of it. But now what she does, because I think her mom has some type of lung disorder, but it was from for drugs and alcohol. And so now what she does within her purpose is she helps people come out of with recovery. So I'm saying the dark night is a situation that occurs. It typically results in some type of major loss that you're faced with, or that you experience, that's going to truly impact your life. It's not a bad day. It's not, oh, this is just happening right now, so I'm having a bad day or a bad month. No, it's something that truly impacts your life. It's not something that you get through immediately. Because the gamble with it, the only reason why I'm saying is the gamble with this is it's very important. If you're going through a dark night, if you are one that's going to be going through this transformation with this dark night, find someone, almost like when people at AA or with those meetings, they have a sponsor. Find someone that you can have as a support system. The reason why I'm saying this is because a lot of people who are going to this initiation don't have anybody. You gotta be really strong, because a lot of people don't make it past through or understand, they sink. So it's going to be a situation where it's almost like you will be protected, but you still have that free will. So if it's too much for you, you can make a choice not to move forward. However, you only go through that to break you down, to direct you into where you need to go within your purpose. For me, my dark night had initiated a sense of compassion, in a sense to want to heal and make people happy. I was so unhappy and I was so depressed and I was so in such a dark place that when I came out of it, it motivated me. Like, this is what I want to do for other people. I know what it's like to feel down and low, and you get depressed and you're alone and lonely. I know what that feels like. So therefore, because I know what it feels like, because in my dark soul, the crying, the stress and anxiety, the hopelessness, the fear, all of that, I get it. So I had to be down in that broken down space and find myself. That was my motivation. That's my motivation with you guys. If you notice, like a lot of you come to me, I'm like, I just want you to be happy. I know I can see how you feel. Hell, I'm looking at the paper right here. Like you tell me, oh, I'm looking at your energy. Your energy's telling me that you are not thinking about you don't want to be here anymore. Your energy is saying that you give up. Your energy is saying that you might look good on the outside. You can be smiling on the outside. You can have the best clothes, be looking like but you miserable inside. We don't gotta be like that. Let me help you, because I know what it's like. That was a part of my dark night and my initiation. During that process, my gifts opened up tremendously. The more I came out of it, the more I healed. It was a transformation. So it's almost like it's a death going into a new beginning. So 2022 is going to be more for like those who have like major purposes. I don't know what's going to be happening for those who really don't. I was supposed to give this message because it's because again I noticed, and when I was in like the next 6 month readings, a lot of people toward the end of the year are going to be going through some type of loss that's going to initiate it's going to initiate the process. It's almost like you're starting. Where are my cards at? Oh, I packed them all away, you guys. I'm leaving today. I packed all my cards up. You guys know I'm doing my birthday ritual. I'm doing my birthday ritual on Saturday, so I'm excited. Anyways, I want to show you guys. So in the regular tarot, the traditional tarot, if you look at the Eight of Cups, if you look at that picture, the Eight of Cups, that's what a lot of you guys are getting ready to do. It's almost like you're going into, and I had a person where that's how I described it to her. It's like you're going into a journey that's going to start off with you being in the darkness, but your outcome is meant to be the sun. That's what your outcome is meant to be, the sun. So you're going to be starting this journey. It's dark outside. You're leaving behind your old self. It's a journey. It's an experience. It's a blessing in disguise. I swear to God. If you can make it through the journey, learn what you were meant to learn through that dark night. Relinquish control. I feel like a lot of you who are in this position right now have major control issues, and you're going to be in a situation where you have no control. You have no choice but to have faith and have a sense of self and spirituality, to connect with your inner self and spirituality. You're not going to have a choice. I don't care what you try to do. Trust me, I know. I've been through it. It's not you're not going to have no choice but to go through the process. And then when you're strong enough and make a decision to relinquish that control and open yourself up to your path, your purpose, and your spirituality, our self, purpose mainly, that's when things will start easing up and you'll slowly start coming out of it. Like I said, I started mine October 2014. I didn't come out of it until maybe like September of 2017. Swear to God. It was like, I was so angry. I had to go through the lesson of forgiveness. I had to go through the lesson of had to learn compassion. I had to mainly forgiveness. I had to relearn love. I felt betrayed. I felt angry. I felt hurt. I just felt so much. I just didn't understand why. How can a person that does so much good for the world and you guys remember I told you in my transparency video, I used to get up every morning, get all pretty, get up for work. I have my office. I would go to work, do all these healing sessions, do all these readings, do all this stuff to help people. And then while I didn't have my daughter, and then go home and go in my garage and with a bottle of liquor, with a bottle of liquor, um, crying, screaming, drinking until I went to sleep, and then the next day do the same thing all over again. Get up, smile, pretty, doing motivational things online. Everybody, I'm smiling, taking all these beautiful pictures. Everybody just thought nobody knew what was going on in my life. Had to go through this by myself. Every single person in my life that knew I was going through this custody battle, not one person reached out. But it was meant to be that way because I was codependent. I couldn't even make decisions by myself. I was very insecure with my own decision making. So anytime I had a thought or a decision, I would always call somebody, hey, I need some advice for this. What do you think about this? And what do you think about this? Like, I couldn't make solid decisions without consorting with somebody else. And how can I be all, I'm this person that, I have to be able to trust myself, my intuition and my energy and my gifts, right? So, but I could not make solid decisions without, I was so insecure and so afraid to make mistakes that with every single person that actually disappeared in my life, I would call them like, hey, so I was thinking about doing this. Even if it was going to the grocery store, hey, I was thinking about going to the grocery store. I don't know what I might cook for dinner. What do you think? Do you think I should do this? That's how bad it was because I had major sacral issues. And this is before my generational detachment. So if you guys don't know about GAs, I had a GA with my sacral. And when you have like a sacral issue, like you have issues with insecurities, you're deeply insecure within yourself and other people, deeply insecure. And so I had that issue. So every single I learned complete independence during my dark night because I didn't have a choice. That's what I'm saying. Like you're going to be in a position where you don't have a choice but to grow and come out of your bad habits, the things that just no longer serve you. So why did I stop drinking so heavy? I stopped drinking heavily because, and I can laugh at it now, but I remember one time I was so drunk and because I started going out a whole lot to try to cover up my pain. This was when I was in my dark night. Because I started to sink first. So before I started to swim, I began to sink first. So and I was drinking a lot, like a whole lot. And like I said, that was before the GA reset and everything. I had major, and if you do like drink a lot or if you take substances to cover up your pain, you likely have some type of attachment or something down in your sacral. That's just, but I was drinking a whole lot. And and I remember one time I pulled up to my house. This was before I lived here. And I was so drunk. I don't even know how I got home. I have no idea. But I drove like into my car garage. And I was actually renting the house. So I had to, I had to actually pay for that. Like, because it was like, they were like, that's not the house issue. I had to pay to repair my own garage. And that's what actually made me like, begin like to slow down. That was my wake up call with alcohol. Because I was like, damn, I'm ruining stuff. I could have I could have, what if I ran somebody up? Like, I don't know. Anything could have happened. But that was my wake-up call. So that's what I'm saying. Like, it was a process. So first I sank, which most people do with dark nights. Most people sink first because it's tough. Again, I'm telling you because and some of you have already been through it, so you already know what it's like to have a dark night. I'm only talking to those who have not been through it yet. Some of you guys think you've been through it, but all you've been going through is preparation to prepare you for your dark night or for your initiate. I hate that term again. For your initiate, because dark night sounds so evil and it's not evil. But a lot of you think that you've already been through your initiation process. But number one, if you're not within your purpose and your passion, you have not been, number one. Number two, if you're not really tapped into yourself and spirituality strongly, you have not been. Number three, if you have not been to the place where you like really completely lost yourself when you were at your lowest point, you have not been. So you've been through towers to try to prepare you, to strengthen you up, to get ready for your initiation and your crossover to go within your path. You got to be ready for it. So anywho, I can laugh at it now, but you guys, man, that dark, I sank so deep. Like I used to I wouldn't open up the blinds. I hated the sun. I was so mad. I was so angry. But again, like I said, I would get up and I would do my work. But I didn't really have a compassion with it. It was like, not yet. That's crazy because I didn't actually start to grow my compassion to after I met a Kennedy, which is the teacher I was telling that I'm always talking about. And I didn't even actually, that's when everything began to, No. I met him before then. But I was battling with him a little bit. He used to piss me off all the time. He used to tell me the truth, and I hated hearing the truth. He used to tell me like what was going on with me, and I hated hearing it because I'm like, no, I'm a good person. Why is this happening to me? I don't understand. I used to hate the stuff he would tell me. He would say the stuff how I talk to you guys and me telling you, no, this is what's going on. That's how he would talk to me, and I would be mad at him, but yet I couldn't stop. I was still gravitated. I knew he was there to help me, but he would tell me stuff I didn't want to hear. He would tell me um, how my heart was blocking me. He would tell me how my anger and my forgiveness was keeping me in a self-made prison. He would tell me certain things about me that I didn't want to hear. He was a reflect. He was my mirror, like how I am with you guys. He was my mirror. He would tell me, you're not going to have this. No, you're not going to have that. No, your life is going to be like this until you change this. And I didn't want to hear that. All I wanted to hear was, no, you're going to have this and that, like the other psychics would do. You got love coming. You got a mansion coming. You have a unicorn coming too as well. You have a pineapple tree that's going to grow rubies in your backyard. I wanted to hear all that, but he didn't tell me all that. So he told me the truth, and it hurt me. It pissed me off. But then it's crazy because everything he said to me coming out of my initiation process, like everything he said, it was like light bulbs. Like, oh, he said that to me. Wow, now I can see it. Wow, he said that to me. Wow, now I understand. Wow, he said that to me. And wow, I get it now. But when you're in that dark place, it's like you don't see it. You just want to hear everything is going to be okay, and sometimes it's not. And I'm just being honest, sometimes it's not. If you're not okay, everything else is not going to be okay. If you're not okay, everything else is not going to be okay around you. Guess why? Because that's how you feel. What you're going through is what you're magnetizing. You will be protected during the process. You definitely will be. You'll be protected. But the initiation process will only last. It's going to last as long as you want it to, I should say. So I just wanted to give you guys a heads up. Again, I'm only talking to a specific group of people right now, because again, that's what's been coming up in the readings like crazy in the next 6 months. I've been able to get people like their year like lesson. Like I said, if those who recently booked like last week up until like now, I've been doing like their August through January, so I've been able to see it. I'm like, oh, well, damn. Well, damn, okay. But it's gonna be all about love, like you just opening up that part of yourself that needs to be opened up, in order for you to be on your path. It's something that you ask for. It's something that you're initiating. Something that you ask for this. You want to be within your path and your purpose. But sometimes it's going to take more than someone like. For example, like I get people where I'm like, okay, I told you, like, you need to write your book. Write your book. You have all these stories inside of you. You have all these life experiences. Write your book. And you're like, oh, yeah, I know I need to. Okay, yeah, I should. Yeah, I should. But you don't do it. So you're going to be in a position where you're going to be like, you know what? I need to write about this. I need to write about this experience. I need to write. You're going to be, I'm sorry, I don't want to. It's almost like that's that. I need to write about this. I need to write. So I can tell you what you need to do with your life purpose. I can tell you what it is. But if you don't have the passion or the experience or the motivation to do it, you're not going to do it. So you may have to go through some things and then overcome some things and experience some magical miracles in order for you to be like, man, I got to write about this. Now I got to do this. I need to do this. And you are motivated. Do you guys understand what I'm saying? So it's like, even like with the readings, I tell people ask me, that's the number one question people always ask me. So what's my purpose? And I will tell you, what your purpose is. I always tell people what your purpose is. I always tell you, this is what you're supposed to be doing. This is what you need to do. This is what you're going to be doing in your life. And you're like, oh, okay. And it goes in one ear and out the other. But when you're in a position where you experience what your purpose is, when you actually are experiencing what you need to do, that's when you're more motivated to go within and actually walk within it, not talking anymore, not just like thinking about it, but actually putting the action towards it. But guess what happens? That's when you get happy, your passion begins. You would never work a day in your life. You would never work a day in your life when you're within your passion and your purpose. You'll never work a day in your life. You're passionate about it. Honestly, I think my biggest obstacle, like with leaving this, you guys know I don't work hard. I don't like working hard. I think if anything, I mean, my energy, I use a lot of energy, but sometimes I'm talking to you guys, I'm working from my bed. Like literally, I'm working from my bed. got the remote control on mute, and I get my call, I get my reading. Okay, it's time to do my reading. Get my little clipboard, get my paper, press mute. Your call comes in. How can I help you? And I'm laying in bed, and I'm just like, okay, how can I help you? What's going on? I do your session. When I'm done, I might have like a little bit of break. And there it is. I swear to you, like, I mean, but I love it though. So, but the universe, how it is. So, but like when you're within your path and your purpose, like that, when you're within your path and your purpose, it's never work. Like people who sing, who dance, who that's fun to them. It's fun, and they get paid for it. Oh, by the way, I don't know if you guys received. I am taking new students for the class starts. I believe August. I'm sorry, not August, but October 16th. I'm taking new students for 7 new students for the reset class. So if you're a person that's ever experienced resets or any type of energy work from me, I will be initiating, or I will be actually attuning. You'll get 8 attunements where you'll be attuned to be able. I'm going to open up all those places inside of you, all the chakras inside of you that is required for you to be able to do that type of work. So in the class, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do resets. I'll be attuning you to do resets. I'll be attuning you to do generational detachments. And I'll be attuning you to do cardinal resets or cardinal reconciliations. So I did send an email out because I'm trying to do everything before today. So I am accepting 7. So you do have to qualify for, you guys know that you have to qualify for it. So if you are interested, just email me on my website. But I am accepting 7 new students October 16th. It's going to be for 3 weekends in a row. And like I said, like I'm going to be attuning you I'm going to open up all those things, all those places inside of you, cleaning you up, getting your vibrations to where they need to be so you can start doing reset yourself. So if you're a person that's actually like literally, that's like I said, if you've had any type of energy work from me and it's changed your life and you want to change other people's lives, you can start a spiritual practice. I will be going over how to start a spiritual practice. I will be going over codes of conduct and ethics. I will be giving you like a mini course, like a business coaching course, like giving you some suggestions as to what you should charge, how you should get started and everything like that. If it's something you want to do. So again, you'll be learning how to do resets. You'll be learning how to do GA removals. You'll be learning how to do cardinal karma, and you'll get the education behind everything. So 7 new students. The class starts, I think it's October 16th. I don't know. It's on my, I think it's October 16th. It's October 16th or 17th, but it's going to be for 3 straight weekends. And yeah, so if this is something you have a passion with, if you have a passion with just like really healing people energetically, you know, I do have to attune you as soon as possible, the sooner the better before the class, because when I do attunements, especially if you have a lot going on, it's going to be clearing out some stuff. It's going to be clearing out things out of you. Like my current students with their attunements, it took them a while for them to get to a vibration where now they can do everything that I can do. Like the students I have right now can literally do everything I can do. Like they're doing it actually. They're working right now. They're actually doing everything I do. But it takes a while so if you do want to be considered for a student or as a student, the sooner you sign up, the better, because that initiate those attunements. It depends on how much you got going on inside of you. Can take a while to take full effect. So the sooner the better, because I want you to be prepared for the class, to be able to do the energy work. Because I'm going to have you do other people. I'm going to have you do resets on people, have you do GA removals, have you do cardinal, have you do all that stuff on other people before the class ends. And so if you're a person, like I said, if you had a chance to experience any of the energy healing work I've done for you, and if it's changed your life and you want to share that with others, and you think about actually starting a spiritual practice, I highly recommend that you look and see if you qualify. If you do qualify, I'll get you set up. We'll set you up for your attunements, and we'll get you all prepared for the class in October. Okay, so. But yeah, so I just want to do a quick thing, just a quick overview of 2022. Like I said, I'm specifically only speaking to those who are on this path. But you asked for it. Just know you asked for this. Even like the whole situation that I went through in 2014 when I moved here to Georgia, I asked for that. I needed that to be who I am now. If I didn't go through that, I wouldn't be here talking to you guys right now. If I didn't go through what I went through, yes, it was fucking horrible. I would not wish that on nobody. That pain and that And the thoughts I had, you guys, like I said, I can't legally, I'm afraid to tell you guys the things that I, the measures that I went, I was desperate though. I was desperate. But the measures I took in that situation because I was so desperate, I'm ashamed I can't talk about it, but I was a hot mess. However, I came out of it and now I'm here. I had to go through that to be in this place where now I'm like, I learned how to love. I learned how to have compassion. I learned how to, my love is in getting people who feel like that. No, you may not have gone through exactly what I went through, but I understand your emotions. I know what it feels like to be down and not be happy. And it's like, but you can be. You can be. So it's like, and I'm like, I know you can. You got a majority of you guys again have worked with me already. You already know. You know how it is. So I'm gonna be posting this video on my website so people can refer back to it. Yeah, I'm just now channeling the next year. I'm just now channeling 2022, and it's gonna be a great year for some of you though. On the other hand, what's going to come out of this? What's going to come out of it is just like you're going to be this amazing, beautiful butterfly, and you're going to be changing the world. Like you have such a high and amazing purpose. You're going to be authors and speakers. Have your own businesses. Some of you may even decide to go to, and there's no, it may go to school like for social work, psychology, helping children, helping women, helping men. There's a lot of men who don't deal with the things a lot of men are abused too. A lot of boys are molested and they're raped, or they go through a lot of dysfunction in their home too. They don't have, because it's so normal for women, only they don't talk about it like women do. They just hold it in and they end up being crazy and distorted and mentally messed up too as well. They need you too. So it's like there's just so much, there's so much. I have one girl where she just opened up the safe house for teenage runaways, and she actually went through her dark night. It's crazy because I met her. I met her at a metaphysical store. I was at a metaphysical store getting some candles and stuff like that, and I met her there. And she was telling her dark soul. I think I think she's a soul sister because we're so connected. But her dark soul happened like around the same time mine did. Her and I hope she doesn't, I'm sure she doesn't mind because she talks about it all the time, but her daughter had ran away at 14. Some guys got a hold of her. They beat her up, they raped her, and they strangled her. Her daughter, they found her daughter. She wasn't completely dead, but she was in a coma for about 2 months. I think she's about 7-8 weeks, and then she finally died. But that was when her dark night had started. So now when she just opened up a home, but this was like, she opened this up back, this was like maybe 2 years ago. She opened up this home. It's like a Safeway home. She just opened up one in Houston. There's one in Florida. I forgot where it is in Florida. What's that? What is that? It's right. Or it's not Orlando. It's like a suburb of Orlando. But she opened up, and she has 2 out here. There's safe houses for runaway teens. But that was her motivation. Her daughter was just troubled, but she's so young, and that nobody. She had ran away, and I'm just gonna be honest. What happened? The guy that she was with, got into a physical fight with her daughter. He wasn't, because she was in a bad place, and she wasn't within her purpose yet. She was attracting toxic men. She had the guy there. He beat her daughter up. Her daughter ran away, and that's when all that stuff happened to her daughter. So that healed her, that was that blame, that guilt, that anger, that sadness, all that dark night that she went through. It was in many different the areas in her life but it transformed her to be like, okay, this is my purpose. My purpose is to get these kids off the street. And she's so different now. She's such a different person. She's such a beautiful person. You would never think she ever went through anything. Like, she's so beautiful. Like physically, energetically, internally, spiritually, very beautiful. But that's how that's how they work. It's something that's deep. It's a dark night. And I'm not saying that's going to happen to you. I'm not saying that. I don't know what your initiation is going to be. I have no idea. But it is going to be something that impacts your life. That's going to force you. But you can and you will come out of it with the sun shining behind you. I promise you. So, anyhow, thank you. So, I am doing readings this month. So this month, all readings are half off. So if you're going to book, I did cut off the first half. Well, it's just the first week of August. But if it's an emergency, I mean, I'm full of energy, so I mean, it's fine. If it's an emergency, just email me. If you need an emergency reading, just email me, and I'll fit you in. I'm not gonna be doing. I'm going to LA, but I'm just kind of just going. I'm not gonna really be going too much. I'm not gonna be doing a whole lot out there. Most of my family in LA, they're out of town right now anyway, because everybody's birthdays in the same time. So I just found out that my aunt and my cousin, they're in Louisiana. Another one of my aunt and my other cousins are on their way to Hawaii. So I'm just gonna kind of just be chilling by the ocean, kind of hanging out. So if there's an emergency in this week that's cut off, you can email me, and I don't mind. But yeah, so this whole month, like literally, oh, thank you. This whole month, everything's half off. Well, not everything, but the readings are half off. So they're typically 140. Now they're $70. So for 30 minutes. And so if you do want to book a session, my space is more limited this month, but if you do need, just email me. I get my emails most of the time when I have internet. So just email me if you need me, if you want to book a session with me. If it's something that's really, really important, then I'll work with you, because I'm not tired. Like, it'd be different if I was tired and drained. I'm not really tired and drained right now. I'm just kind of, I wonder why. I don't know. I just feel, anyways, it's not about me. I just wanted to give you guys this overview so you can prepare yourself. So if you know that you're going through this, just know, like, is this all you asked for? This, you wanted this like, you wanted this to happen. You wanted this initiation, and it's going to be happening for you, and you're on your way. It's that new journey. That new journey begins with that fool going through, and you're going to end up at the sun. And the sun is like the most beautiful place to be. I'm telling you. But you have to go through, because some of you guys are just, I mean, you're not going to do it unless you have the experience or you're motivated to do it. You're just not. You have to be motivated. But it's subconsciously you're asking for that motivation, and the universe is like, okay, I got you. I got you. Yeah, if you want to, hey Don, I'm sorry to know that. I'm sorry to know that about your sister. If you ever want to talk to her, people have a misconception. They think if you commit suicide, you go to hell and all that other stuff. That's not true. If you ever want to talk to your sister, book a session with me, and we can talk to her if you have any questions for her. Yes, I'm starting to slowly start talking back to those who have crossed over again. You guys know I've been so resistant with it, but the dreams I've been having recently, since that lunar eclipse, that moon thing when I was in the cabins, it's almost like I've had no choice but to go into it, because like spirits are coming to me regardless, coming to me anyway. And but it's not bad. I've always said that, okay, well, I'm like talking to spirits because are those who cross over, because it's energy draining, but it's not. It's almost like, I don't know what happened or what's changed within me, but it's not draining to me anymore like it used to be. So now it's easier to talk to them. And they're talking to me in a way where it's not so draining. So I don't know what's changed, but it's easier for me to talk to those who crossed over. So if any of you want to have a person that you want to talk to, actually, let me see. So if you want, I can talk to her. I just want you to know, like, she has crossed over. That's a good thing. A lot of people who commit suicide don't typically like to cross over. They're afraid, because they're afraid, they think they might go to hell. Hell only, I'm not going to say that. I'm not going to tell you guys that, because you have to have your own perception with it. But she actually crossed over. She decided to cross over. She had a lot of issues in her sacral. I don't know if she had some type of like substance abuse or mental, but there was something like, she could not hide it was so much built up emotion and anger, and it was all in her sacral area. There was some type of abuse that she went through that she wasn't able to deal with. It was very traumatic. Her heart was broken. But she's actually crossed over. So I don't know if you, if you feel her, she should be kind of light to you. So typically when someone has not crossed over, they're what you call earthbound, what you call AKA what the movies call ghost, but they're earthbound deities. They're basically the same exact person, they just don't have the body. Our body is like that, your soul is like your battery to your physical body. So when you cross over, this is a totally different like video, but I'm just gonna just give a little bit. When you actually cross over, you have a choice. If you have fear of what's on the other side, or if you don't want to leave something behind here, you can't you have to connect yourself to something or someone. So a lot of times when, like for example, haunted houses or places or like the ships or whatever, even when I went into the cemetery, if you don't want to cross over, if you have to attach, because your body is what you're attached to, right? So when you don't have your physical body anymore, you have to have something to attach to be able to survive, to have your energy continue to flow, to be able to have influence. So when people don't cross over, they become again what you call ghosts, and they become attached to something. It can be a house, it can be a car, it can be a doll. You guys know I have Annie upstairs. I have a whole doll. I have Annie who came back with me from Jamaica. She's attached to, she's on my family altar. So, but she attached herself to the doll that I brought back from Jamaica, and she's, like I said, she's by my front door. She's very protective. She's very jovial. She's a fun being. But she attached herself to that doll, and now, so her energy is connected to that doll. So another thing with earthbounds, people who have addictions that they can't get over, people who are on drugs really heavy, alcohol really heavy, they typically have these attachments connected to them, that are earthbound. That's because these earthbound spirits, just because they don't have the body doesn't mean they don't want to have that high. So a lot of people who have those addictions that they cannot shake for nothing, no matter how much they go to rehab, no matter what they do to try to change, they always go back and revert. Is likely they have an earthbound that's connected to them, because that earthbound it provokes certain things within them, because they need that high. They need that person's body to be able to feel that high, or feel that buzz, or feel whatever they are feeling through their drugs and alcohol. That's who they were before they crossed over, or before their bodies died. So they have to connect themselves to another person to be able to. So a lot of times, like when I tell people, when I've detached those beings from people, I remember on one guy, he had like 7 of them, 7 like addicts that have died, whose bodies have died. 7 addicts. He had 7 deities that were connected to him, and he could not stay off of. It was like heroin, crack cocaine. It was like heavy stuff. He cannot stay off of it. But when we detached, I was able to detach like 6 of them. The other one I was afraid probably would have killed him. But at least it was enough for him to go into rehab and actually to come and feel a whole lot better, to really to come out of that. But anyway, so 9 times out of 10, it's a deity that needs that sensation that it would have if it had its own body. Now, when you cross over, your soul goes into like a healing phase. It's almost like it slowly goes into like a healing phase, where it's almost like a reset button. Like you're resetting everything that you've been through in that lifetime. And you don't even care about it anymore. You don't care about. It's not that you don't care. It's just, it's not a part of you any longer. You detach from it. So it sounds like you get a reset, and your soul crosses over to like a healing space, and you transition, and you go into wherever you decide to go. That you create, it's like we create our own heavens. I always tell you guys, the best movie to watch that is very similar to what happens when you cross over is called What Dreams May Come. Again, I don't know who channeled, the writer must have channeled, I don't know, but that movie right there is the closest to explaining as to what happens when you cross over. Or when you leave your body, you have that's like, it's like you create your own, like you design your own, like your own heaven, your own space, and that's what happens. So you have your own choices. So most people, you commit suicide and decide you're not going to go to hell, you don't have to. If you decide to stay, you can. If you decide to cross over, you can too. Okay. All right. Well, let me go ahead and go. I got to get ready to. My plane leaves at like 3, and I still have some things I have to do before I actually go. So if you do want a personal reading with me, see my. If you don't choose, but only if it's like an emergency, something that's very very important. Otherwise, you'll have to actually book for next week, sometime next week. Again, right now they are half off. That's number one. Two, next 6 month readings. You can only book for today and tomorrow if you want to know what's going to be happening for August, September, October, November, December, your overall year for 2022, and possibly January. You can book that. My class, I do have a new reset class where you'll be learning how to do the reset, detachments, GA removals, and cardinal removals. That's in October. You can email me to see if you qualify for that. And that's pretty much it. So I think the next time I see you guys, I think I'm going to do the next 3 days, probably on Wednesday. After that, I will see you after my birthday. So you guys be blessed, take care, and I will talk to you soon. Happy, 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 happy Tuesday, and enjoy the rest of your week. Bye. Bye-bye.